June 26, 2011, Sunday. It was around 2 a.m. that I got there and went to the usual one I often visit. There I saw this pretty bartending girl once again, and I was sort of flirting with her and asking her why she did not return my phone call the other day. She responded that she just recently acquired a boyfriend, and the sorry-ass dude happened to work next door in another bar. After hearing this, my attitude got arrogant and probably sounded slighting. Her sorry-ass man. She gave me this impression that she's got absolutely no brain, and that the idea of me being her companion does not necessarily displease her as long as I talk to her man. So she brought me out of the door and to face off her man, who was standing outside smoking with another fellow who happened to be his boss. The two, upon the sighting of me, had gotten especially belligerent and hostile toward me, and I, being who I am, gave off an attitude of exceptional arrogance. So wham, bam! All of a sudden, this not-so-friendly encounter naturally transformed into a brief physical violence which lasted about 20 seconds. Then some other dude from that bar I came from broke us up, and everything returned back to normal and cool as usual. During the brief physical exchange, I was, for a moment, pressed onto the ground by that boyfriend and kicked harmlessly by his light-weighted boss. All of this resulted in some minor bruises and cuts on the right palm, elbows, and knees. After I got up, I literally laughed his ass off, stating, "You so pathetic and comical, ha 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 ha." The dude, probably too confounded and confused at the sight of this, was too helpless to give any sort of reasonable response and act nothing, just being stupid, and stood there. Then I went back into the bar to continue some drinking, half amused, half dazed, half triumphant, and half despondent. The girl come back and probably feeling half helpless and half what the hell, didn't talk to me much, so I felt the table's cold, the night had gotten boring, so I returned home at about 4 a.m. I slept through most of the day, shedding my responsibility in Soho for one more day, talking impishly to my father on the phone, just being a total mischievous brat. Then, in the early evening, Shane called me, saying that she wants to come back to my place to pick up all her personal belongings, which only 2 days ago was voluntarily and happily brought in. I felt helpless, distressed, wanted to divert my attention. So I called my friend Penny, who just happened to be at Flushing Library conducting her surveys, her research. I proposed to pick her up and to come and hang out at my place, to which she happily agreed to. When we arrived at the downstairs outside of my apartment, Shane just happened to close in as well. So we greeted each other as if nothing had happened in this awkward situation, and all came upstairs. Then she packed up and, without bidding farewell to anybody, exit my place rather unceremonially. Penny stayed on for a few more hours. We watched an episode of Man vs. Wild. Finally, I saw her off at the bus station. June 27th, to Sunday. Knowing that I will have a case at 1 p.m., I didn't want to end the day so early, so boring. So I called this other girl, Salem, to ask her if she wants to meet. But she only agreed to a brief sub-rosa encounter in front of her place because it was rather late and she's in her pajamas anyway. I had no other choice but to oblige, so off I went at about 1 a.m. Her place is about 15 minutes walk from mine, and there we briefly met for about 10 minutes. She sort of pampered me as if I was a naughty boy, and I, as being who I am, arrogantly bragged to her the previous night's adventurous excursion, haughtily showing the bruises I received as if a soldier's showing a girl his battle wounds as if some kind of medal of honor. Then it just came to me that in my world, ain't it always a boy's boy, man's thing? Upon my reluctant farewell, she even kissed me on the cheeks as if a mother or older sister is trying to put the mischievous boy unwillingly into bed. So off I came back to backyard of my apartment, always with a bottle in my back pocket. Not wanting to end the night yet, I called Salen to chat for an additional hour until 3 a.m. The conversation is random, spontaneous, and desultory, but it carried an air of a puppy love, chit-chat, and juvenile purity and innocence, which I especially cherished and enjoyed. I then finally came back to bed, bored, drank away my last bottle of Corona Light, and went to sleep around 4 a.m. Then, at 10:30 a.m., I got up, went to Varick Street to cover my case, which was brief and boring, and started to pen down this whole week's event, and could not help but be marveled, amazed, amused, inspired by the extraordinary experience I had for the past week. Without trying to moralizing, I simply want to say that I have no regret for what happened except